Hello everyone. In this video I will be showing you how to flip percent. And the thing is with this mechanic, it does include some luck.
For a long time.
In this example here, beast mode goes for
No
flip
fake
percent,
or no flip.
and he ends up
Ended up
not
having
getting
a
it.
fake hit
And
across you with a
this
nice
doesn't
dunk
just
there.
happen to him, but it happens to a lot of pro players, including like Zen, Atao, Rawas, Abjack. It even has to very mechanical players like SMD. And you can, of course, train the flipper set to a certain extent, but of course there is a human limit. And don't ever beat yourself up if you don't feel like you're really hitting the ceiling, because honestly, this mechanical skill ceiling is getting so high that at some point it's just so high that most players don't even think they can reach it, and that's completely normal. I feel like that sometimes too, because I mean, seeing what A7D can do and other pro players can do, it's starting to get ridiculous. It's like in not even a couple years we went from some pretty cool flipper sets to absolute monstrosity of popper sets. And so today I will be showing you my personal guide, and this is my first attempt in recording on how to do a flipper set and a popper set. So mind me if I stutter anything or say anything or forget anything. If you have any questions or concerns, please put in the comments. I would really appreciate that, so I can continue to give feedback and help you guys how to learn some mechanics. So let's start by learning the setup. So let's take the ball up the wall very plainly like this. So this is pretty much the first step. Just drive the ball, and I'm just going to note that for the entire video, I'm not going to be focusing on the net first. We're going to be focusing on it later, or at least somewhere through the learning process. So you want to take it up the wall and pop it. Very nice. Next thing you want to do is, of course, get this repetitiveness in your head. I guess repetition, get this consistency, this muscle memory into your head by just keep taking it up the wall like this. Very easy. Now what you want to do is add a little break where you create distance, like there. You tap break, and if you're wondering what it looks like, tap 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 tap. And so if your tapping looks like that, then you're doing good. Tap, and then just hit it. And no, I'm not focusing on boost yet. I didn't mean to boost there, but let's try that again. Tap. Nice. You see a lot of low rank players, like when the ball is going up like this, or even bots, they just huck it and then they just leave. And so that's pretty much what you're aiming for. Now the next step is to add a little boost so you can hook the ball better. So tap, boost. So now you get that quick little momentum gain onto the ball. And you're probably wondering, why is the tap needed? Because if you're just glued to the ball like this the entire time, the ball would just end up sticking to your car or the wall, and it might end up hitting the ceiling. And so you get too much forward momentum with that, and so it would look like this. And so you don't give the ball enough time to leave the corner. So you want to let the ball go up the wall first. And yes, same thing applies. If you create too much distance and then get a hook, it will be too low, and putting anything dangerous on net won't work. So hit that distance and boost. Very nice. Now, once you get this again, do multiple reps of this. I would do 20 reps of each. So 20 reps of this. So 20 reps of just driving up the ball. So that's one time. And so this is for lower rank players, by the way. If you're a high rank player, then don't really listen to me, because you already know how to do this. And yes, you can pretty much set up the ball and do anything dangerous from almost any setup. Again, there is a certain extent to where you can make a setup dangerous and use your mechanics to engage in an offensive play. But there's always a human limit. So just get this repetition in, just like this. Nice. And now, of course, once you get like a couple reps of that and you're used to it, add that space, and now do it with that space. That space. Nice. And so we continue to the boosting. Nice. So you see with the boost, it gives the ball much more power, or much bigger scoop here, where it's not quite hitting the ceiling. It's very close, but not quite. But also it's far from the ground, meaning you have plenty of time to reach the ball and plenty of space in the air where you can continue that forward momentum with the ball and bring it towards the net. See here? Pop. Very nice. Very close to the ceiling. Not too close. You don't want it like a car length away. It's way too close. Well, but it could work. But then you also don't want it way too low where you can't do anything. Now, what we want to add to this is a quick break. And I would let go of accelerate for just half a second for this part right there. So you see how I stopped for a second? So break right there. So I stopped for a second just because if you hold accelerate through this, you might continue like there. I braked, but then it didn't look like I braked because you continue that momentum too quickly. And you see I was holding brake there, but my car kept sliding. So there you want to let go of brake, let go, and so you get that bigger brake. And so why is this brake important? Let's see. So you go up, you brake, and so now this gives you time to fly at the ball and slam into it. And this is where flipper setting is important. When you touch the ball very soft, you end up not getting the flipper set at times. Like there, I was like right on top of the ball, no flipper set. There it works, but what you want to do really is do this, a full hard slam. And so if you continue the momentum without that brake, you might be too soft on the ball, and right there, good example, you don't get the flipper set. And if you make that space right here, you get that flipper set. And so when you're taking up the wall, you want this brake. Brake. Nice. Next step is, again, get that repetition, consistency, and muscle memory in your head. What you want to do is jump off the wall right after you brake. Brake, jump off. And don't do air rolling yet. I wouldn't air roll yet. Brake, jump off. And you don't have to do this quickly. You can do it very slowly and it still works. Brake, jump off. And this is all you want to focus on right now. And again, we're not focusing on the net. Brake, jump off. Brake, jump off. Very nice. And now, once you get that in your head, just practice that. Just pause the video, practice it for a while. And no, you cannot learn this very fast. This takes hundreds of hours to master, and maybe a little less to get used to. But once you get this part on, you want to turn your car and aim at the ball. Nice. Very sloppy, but that is what you want. You want to start with rough. You can't immediately go into the good stuff. And you want to full boost, full confidence at the ball. So turn, full boost, confident touch. Nice. And so you can do this a little slower, because I'm doing it a little quick. Jump off, turn, and just fly at it, full boost. Nice. And this is where you need to know how to aerial, how to air dribble. And if you don't know how to do this, and I'm sorry for the lower rank players who don't, you're going to need a lot of practice. And it's a big stretch to get to this point if you're much lower in ranking. Nice. So we get a touch. Very good. So once you get that repetitiveness, so just driving, make that space, pop, brake, turn, and touch. Nice. Now what you want to do is turn upside down. So flat the ball, turn upside down, and just touch the ball first. That's what you want to do. And now, get these reps in. Turn, upside down, touch. That's all you want to do for now. Practice this for a couple times. And in terms of air rolling, you do not need to turn too early. If you're very close to the ball, like this example, then you can just do everything in one motion. One motion. Nice. Then if you're far, you fly at the ball first, then turn, touch. Now this is the fun part. You get the flipper set. So how do you do it? So first, try to do this. You're flying by yourself. Nice. Now just pull your joystick back if you're on controller, or hold S for a little bit. Same thing with joystick. Just pull back for a little bit when you're upside down like this, and let your car ease. And now what you're doing is the flipper set motion to get into the flipper set, and your car should be aligned diagonally like this. I don't know. That's like sure 45-degree angle, something like that. Your car doesn't want you don't want your car to be like 90 degrees like this. Like this is directly downward. It's not really gonna work. And also you don't want your car too up like this. This doesn't work. You need it 45 degrees like this. That's pretty good. And so back to the setup, pop, fly at it. When you go upside down, you pull it back. You just pull your joystick back or hold S for keyboard players. And now you get the flipper set. Congrats. You have learned a flipper set. Just kidding. This takes a lot of practice. Don't beat yourself up if you're not getting it. If you, again, any question, concerns, then put it down in the comments. I will make another video personally answering your question. So please, let me know if you have questions. So again, let's rerun everything we learned. So again, this little gap right there, just a reminder. Then we do that pop, nice. Then we add some boost, nice. And then we add the brake, nice. There's that brake, very light. You don't want it too big. Like again, this never works, and you should not be air rolling this much to get to the ball. We want it to be efficient. After that, jump off, aim at the ball, one touch, brake jump, aim at the ball, go upside down, one touch, and oh yeah, make sure your car is aligned with the ball. Like when you're upside down, like this is perfectly upside down aligned, so that's good. And finally, you do the pullback. And a misconception in this game is that a lot of players, or even high rank players, that tell you that you need perfect four-wheel contact on the ball, and that's only partially true. But really, you only need to land perfectly upside down on the middle bottom of your car. You don't need perfect four-wheel. Like it can be totally sloppy and it works. I'm gonna make this very sloppy. You see, that was nowhere near perfect. That was not perfect. Let's be honest. That was like my car just a little wavy motion. It just didn't. It just worked. Like you don't need perfect four-wheel contact. Like there, that was not perfect. Like my car was sideways or diagonal, and it still worked. So you don't need four-wheel perfect contact, but it's good to understand you should be trying to go for or at least close to perfection four-wheel contact, so you get that you get a better training and muscle memory in, so you don't create bad habits by just always letting your car slop into the flipper set. And now, next common issue is players don't know what to do after this. They get the flipper set, they're like, what the hell do I do? Right? As they get the flipper set, and what do? That. They hit it away, they go up, and they tend to spam the flipper set button, and then this happens, or they just get multiple wave dashes. If I can try to replicate it here. Like, yeah, that was almost a wave dash. And, or they just fling away from the ball, which I can try to replicate here. Like this. And very common issues. This can happen to anybody, including pros, but of course, at pro level, it is not very common at all, because they're pretty much at mastery level. You don't want to air roll this much, first of all, as this is where the issue happens. Now you're too low, not threatening. Diamonds can easily save this, even plats. Maybe lowering players, they might fall for it by just sitting under the ball, but yeah, we're not trying to clip on goals, are we? Alright, next thing is you need height. And so that's where you need a big pop. So boom! Big pop. And you want to fly at the ball as early as you can, which means up quick. Like this. And this looks difficult because it kind of is for players who have no idea like how to start this. But this is where you can start to add things to the flipper set. So if you know how to air dribble and aerial already, which again you do need that to learn this type of mechanic, you can start with a one-touch air dribble, then you go for a flipper set, and then flick it. And so now that's where it gets a little more threatening. So you get one touch, you get closer to the net, and we flipper set it. Nice. And so how do we flipper set flick like that? So you're just pulling your joystick forward and you're front flipping once you get the flipper set. And you don't want to just spam the flipper set, the flip button. You just want to click it pretty much once, but then you want to wait for just half a second. And so this is also how you pop reset. So half a second, flick. Nice. That's how you pop reset, and that's how you pretty much pop reset flick. And so you can do a front flip or a speed flip if you don't know what a speed flip is. Hold left arrow or right arrow, depending on what side you are. Pull your joystick forward, and then you flip. So that's a diagonal flip to the left, and this is a diagonal flip to the right. Once after you do that, you continue to hold that arrow, and you pull your joystick back. And that is a speed flip or a diagonal flip cancel, whatever you like to call it. So you can do that to the ball in the air after you wait half second and you flick. And so that could be a little more threatening, but again, you need to add something to it. So to get closer to net, you want to add a little edge dribble, and that's where you pull out the flick. And so that could be a little more threatening. Again, it does include some luck and plenty of technique if you want a better flick, but there's still luck involved. Like there, that's pretty nice. That was some skill, of course, but some luck because it just depends on how your car responds to the ball. That's pretty nice. So that, for diamond level, that could be definitely threatening. Champ, definitely threatening too. Now that's how you instantly flip reset flick. In terms of boosting, you can just feather your boost. It's okay. But then when you're trying to get the flip reset for the air dribble flip reset, you want a full confident boost at the ball. So you get the air dribble and full boost confident right there. And know when you're flipping through the flip reset, you don't have to boost. Like there, big pop, no need to flip. Unless you're forced to, because you need to catch up to the ball because you're a little too far from it. Then yeah, go ahead. You can use that extra boost to, I don't know, double touch the ball if it hits the backboard, etc. And now, what you want to learn now is how to just hit the ball on a flip reset. So this is sloppy, of course. So most of the time, what you want to do is add a little air dribble to it before you actually use that flip. There we go. That's pretty nice. Or what you can do is set up very far and very fast from a rough diagonal angle. And so I said we weren't focusing on the net, but now we are. When you set up for the flip reset, you want to go in a slight diagonal angle, like this, and that's how you get to the ball or get to the net. And that's of course how it works for air dribbles. Of course, you want to take it towards the net, diagonal angle like this. Then of course, again, to a certain extent, you can't go too much of an angle. Like I see some players setting the ball like this. That's fine, but then they come from this angle, and so like that just never works. Let me show you a better example. Like this doesn't work. This is way too low and too much of an angle. And some players just do this. This is way too high. Well, it's not too high, but if you're trying to flip reset and hit it, it's not going to work really well. So to get the flip reset hit without going for the flip reset air dribble, go from a big angle, and that's where you get to shoot. So that's definitely a lot more threatening than whatever slob we did before. And hopefully, I hope that flip reset tutorial is helpful. If you have, again, any questions, concerns, if anything I missed, let me know. Anything you're not getting, whichever part you're stuck on because I didn't explain clearly, then please put it in the comments. I want to know. I want to make another video and help people because I want to do something productive. Because I never had a tutor or a mentor when I was playing this game, and then it was just struggle for a very long time to just learn by myself. So please let me help you. And before I finish the video, I want to explain how a flip reset works. So here is the ball, and here's the wall. When the ball gets taken up the wall, you will pop it around here. So this is your car, right? Here's your wheels, and you pop it right here. And the ball follows this momentum until it slowly falls again. Here's a real-time example. Now, once the ball is in this momentum, and right as it starts falling here, you want to get the flip reset. So right as it's falling, like right as it's in the stage of falling, you want to get the flip reset. Right here. That's where your car should be. It's a little sloppy, but... And so how this works, or how the flip reset works, alright, the ball just got scored in the game. When you flip, you stall in the air for just half a second. So you see, if you just jump, you fall back down, but when you flip, you stay in the air for just a second. And so when you look at the ball and it bounces off the floor, it bounces off the floor, of course. And so your car for just half a second acts like the floor. And so that's how the ball barely gets a little height, right? And so it gets popped up just a little bit. And so it goes up just a little bit before it falls again. because your car acts like the ball. But since it's the the bottom of your car and where the wheels are, it's a soft land, so it doesn't get much pop. But then where do we get the pop? This is where it comes from. The scoop, the flick, the flip, whatever you like to call it. And so, picture it like you're scooping a ball or throwing a ball. When your hand is here, right? It's your hand, it's the ball, and you do this scooping motion with your hand, you're flinging it. And so your car does this scooping motion. Sorry, that was a terrible drawing. It does this scooping motion, like seen here, real example. It scoops the ball up. And while the ball is already, again, going up, then in this falling phase right here, the ball, or the car, will scoop the ball up. And already with the forward momentum, it will just go upwards, like this. And so it will fling upwards, and it will go where you want. And this is actually how pop reset works, and I will actually show you how to pop reset in a moment. And that is how a flip reset pop works, or just a pop reset. I hope that example made sense. I will show you a real-time example here. So you want to wait for the ball to fall. There you go. It does that scoop motion. Perfect. I hope anyone who's a visual learner or can visually picture in their head with my drawing over that, then yes, it is exactly what I just explained.